Ladies and gentlemen, hear me carefully. You are not weak because you lack strength. You are weak because you lack focus. The greatest enemy of your future is not failure. It is distraction. If the enemy cannot destroy you, he will simply distract you. Listen, a distracted man is more dangerous than a defeated one, because at least a defeated man knows he's down, but a distracted man is walking in circles, thinking he's making progress. Let me tell you why you must stay till the end of this message, because what I'm about to share can break years of mental confusion, restore your clarity, and realign your destiny. What if I told you that your next breakthrough isn't waiting on another opportunity, but on your ability to focus on the one you already have? So don't just listen, lean in, because if you miss this, you may just keep living with power you never learned to use. Everything your life is producing right now is a result of what your mind has been spending its focus on. Your life is not random. It is a harvest of your attention. You don't get what you wish for. You get what you consistently focus on. Distraction is subtle. It doesn't feel dangerous. That's why it's effective. You can be busy and still be broken. You can be active and still be aimless. Distraction isn't about noise, it's about divided attention. And divided attention leads to a diluted life. Focus is like lifting weights. You don't get stronger by glancing at the dumbbell. You get stronger by resisting, holding, controlling it, over and over again. So too, when you choose focus over distraction, you're training your mind to become disciplined, durable, and divine. Discipline is never the problem. If you can binge a show for 8 hours, you have discipline. The issue is vision. When you get a clear vision, discipline will follow. When your focus is on the finish line, you will start sacrificing today for the reward of tomorrow. Potential is not power, it's promise. And promise only becomes power when you focus. You could be carrying greatness in your spirit, but living in mediocrity because your mind is distracted. When you focus, you activate divine purpose. Focus unlocks the reason why you were born. Don't just focus on something, move toward it. Motion strengthens focus. A focused mind that takes action becomes unbreakable. Because the mind was never meant to be passive. It was created to direct, to dominate, to deliver. The strength of your mind is not in what it holds. It is in what it locks onto. If you want a stronger mind, don't beg for strength. Train your focus. Discipline your thoughts. Guard your attention. Because the more you focus, the stronger your mind becomes. And the stronger your mind becomes, focus is the currency of the mind. It is the medium of exchange in the realm of mental wealth. Just like you use dollars to purchase goods in the physical world, you use focus to purchase value in your inner world. Everything that grows in your life, everything that manifests, everything that takes shape, begins as a seed planted in the soil of your attention. And that's what focus is. It is attention concentrated, refined, and sustained. What you give your attention to is what you are empowering. What you consistently focus on, you are feeding. And what you feed eventually grows, whether it's your faith or your fear, your dreams or your doubts. That's why your focus is not neutral. It's either building something or breaking something. It's either sharpening your future or scattering your energy. The greatest battles in life are not physical, they are mental. The mind is the battleground and focus is the weapon. When you lose focus, you hand over your weapon to the enemy of your purpose. You see, the mind was never designed to run in 1,000 directions. It was created to target, to aim, to zero in on purpose with laser precision. The most powerful people are not those who know everything. They are those who have mastered the discipline of focus. Focused people are dangerous, not because they are violent, but because they are intentional. They move with clarity. They walk with aim, and they speak with conviction. When your focus is broken, your mind becomes cluttered. When your mind is cluttered, your decisions are delayed. And when your decisions are delayed, your destiny is denied. So protecting your focus is not just about mental health. It is about divine purpose. You must understand that focus is a force. It has energy. It has motion. It carries the power to rearrange your entire life. You cannot afford to waste it. Every time you give your focus to a lie, you steal power from the truth. Every time you give your focus to drama, you bankrupt your peace. And every time you give your focus to temporary pleasures, you rob your future of permanent progress. The mind doesn't grow stronger by what it knows. It grows stronger by what it repeatedly dwells on. That's why meditation is powerful. That's why clarity is rare. Because in a world of noise, focus is a weapon. You must train your mind to ignore the irrelevant and magnify the important. You must teach yourself to endure silence because silence sharpens focus. You must become a steward of your attention, refusing to give it cheaply. People who waste time don't understand the value of attention. Focus is not about having less distractions around you. It's about choosing what deserves to remain. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what matters most with deep intentionality. Because the truth is, wherever your focus goes, your life will eventually follow. Distraction is the enemy of destiny. It doesn't show up like a devil with horns. It comes dressed in options. It comes quietly, gently, even innocently. Distraction is not always a sin, but it's always a thief. It doesn't have to destroy you to delay you. All it needs to do is divide your focus, and you will begin to drift from your divine assignment. The greatest threat to your future is not always failure. In fact, failure can be a teacher. But distraction is deceptive. It pretends to be urgent while pulling you away from what is truly important. You can lose years of your life not because of rebellion, but because of misplaced attention. Some people think they're stuck because they don't have opportunity. But many are stuck because they are too distracted to recognize the opportunity they already have. Distraction is not always loud. Sometimes it's subtle. Sometimes it's scrolling. Sometimes it's conversations that add no value to your purpose. Sometimes it's people who celebrate your potential, but pull you away from your process. Every time you give in to distraction, you are giving up progress. The enemy of your soul does not need to take your life. He just needs to take your focus. If he can get you chasing things that don't align with your calling, he knows you'll never fulfill what was written about you in eternity. There's a reason Jesus said, "Let your eye be single." That wasn't just about morality. That was about focus. Singleness of eye means singleness of pursuit. It means cutting off the unnecessary to preserve the essential. You cannot run a straight race while looking in every direction. You cannot build legacy while chasing applause. You cannot fulfill your calling while trying to compare it to someone else's. Distraction feeds insecurity. It tells you to look to the left and the right when you're called to move forward. And the moment you start looking around, you stop moving ahead. That's how distraction wins. It doesn't have to stop you. It just needs to slow you down. Distraction makes you busy but unproductive. You're active but you're not aligned. You're moving but you're not progressing. Because motion without direction is just noise. You can't afford to be distracted in this season. Your destiny is too critical. Your calling is too urgent. Your time is too valuable. You must become ruthless about what gets your attention. If it doesn't feed your faith, fuel your purpose, or move you forward, it doesn't deserve your time. The wise don't just say yes to good things. They say no to everything that doesn't match their mission. Distraction may not seem deadly, but it is. Because every minute you spend off course is a minute lost that can never be recovered. And in the kingdom, your effectiveness is tied to your focus. That's why you must guard your attention like treasure, because your destiny depends on it. Mental strength is not something that simply appears. It's something that is built, honed, and developed through the daily, intentional concentration of your thoughts. You see, mental strength is not about raw intellect or an ability to memorize facts. It's about the ability to focus your mind and energy on what matters. Just like muscles grow through resistance and consistent exercise, your mind becomes stronger the more you concentrate on something with intentionality. The mind, like any other muscle, grows only through use. If you don't put it to work with clear focus, it will weaken. But when you choose to focus, to concentrate, to direct your thoughts and energy toward a singular purpose, your mental strength begins to grow. Consider this. Every time you intentionally set your mind on something, you are essentially performing mental resistance training. Think of your thoughts as weights. When you concentrate your energy, you are lifting those weights. One thought, one idea, one vision at a time. It's not about lifting the heaviest weight at once, but about consistency in carrying the weight of purpose. And every time you do this, your mind becomes more resilient. It becomes sharper. It becomes stronger. This process is not easy, but it's essential for growth. The stronger your mind, the more capacity you have to stay focused when distractions come. And trust me, distractions will come, like waves on a shore, but your mind must be anchored in purpose. Mental strength is built on intentional focus. Without it, you risk living a scattered life. Always chasing after this, always jumping to that, but never truly settling on anything long enough to experience its full potential. Strength of mind comes not from the ability to jump from one thought to another, but in the discipline of concentration. When you make the decision to concentrate on one thing, whether it's a task, a goal, a dream, or a vision, you are essentially laying a foundation for mental strength. But here's the key. It's not just about focusing, it's about focusing on the right things. Your mind was never designed to wander aimlessly. When your thoughts are scattered, your results will be scattered. The reason so many people fail to manifest their potential is because they never give their attention to anything long enough for it to materialize into something tangible. They hop from one idea to the next, never truly committing to one path. And in doing so, they end up exhausted but never fulfilled. Intentional concentration requires you to eliminate all the noise. You cannot afford to entertain every thought that comes your way. Some ideas are distractions in disguise. Some opportunities are nothing more than detours from your destiny. To strengthen your mind, you must learn to resist the temptation to jump at everything that comes into view. Instead, you must anchor your focus on what is most important, the vision that has been placed within you. The more intentional you are with your concentration, the more mental strength you develop. Focus, therefore, becomes the training ground for mental resilience. Through intentional concentration, you sharpen your ability to withstand the pressures of life. You become unshaken when the storms come, because your mind is strong. You begin to see obstacles as opportunities, not as threats. You learn that your greatest asset is not how much you know, but how much you can focus on achieving what you've been destined to accomplish. This is the power of mental strength. It's the capacity to concentrate deeply, to withstand the forces of distraction, and to build a focused, resilient mind that can carry you to your destiny. Your vision determines your discipline. The strength of your discipline is directly linked to the clarity and power of your vision. Discipline is not something you can summon at will. It is a byproduct of a clear, compelling vision. When you have a vision, when you can see where you are going, why you are going there, and the impact your journey will have, it automatically calls for discipline. You cannot build anything of significance without discipline, but discipline is not something that just appears. It must be cultivated, and the foundation of this cultivation is the vision you carry in your heart. A powerful vision demands your best. It will pull you out of your comfort zone, push you beyond your limits, and require sacrifices that others might not understand. A compelling vision clarifies your purpose and gives you a reason to endure. Without vision, discipline is impossible, because there is nothing to hold you accountable. When you are aimless, wandering without direction, you do not have the inner drive to say no to distractions, to put in the hours, or to make sacrifices. But when your vision is clear, you begin to see every decision as a step towards the fulfillment of that vision. Discipline is the action you take to protect and honor your vision. Let's take an example. Think about an athlete who dreams of becoming the best in their sport. Their vision is clear. They see themselves standing on the podium, breaking records, and inspiring others. But that vision doesn't just manifest on the day of the competition. It requires intense discipline every single day. The athlete wakes up at 5 a.m. They push through fatigue, they resist temptation, and they sacrifice comfort. All because their vision of success is so compelling that it dictates their behavior. Without that vision, the discipline would feel like an unbearable burden. But with a vision, every sacrifice, every challenge, every moment of resistance becomes part of the journey toward that larger goal. It makes the painful moments worthwhile. In the same way, when you carry a vision for your life, your discipline will follow. Your vision fuels your decisions. It tells you when to say yes and when to say no. It keeps you aligned with your purpose even when the world around you is trying to pull you in 1,000 different directions. You cannot have a lazy vision and expect disciplined results. A weak vision will always result in a weak will, and a weak will leads to scattered actions. But when your vision is large, when it demands something of you, you will find yourself naturally disciplined. You'll start saying no to things that take you away from your mission, and yes to the actions that align with your purpose. Too many people wonder why they struggle with self-discipline. The reason is simple. They don't have a vision that pulls them toward their highest potential. When your vision is clear, you don't need motivation from the outside world. You have an inner fire that keeps you going. Your vision sets the standard for your discipline. It will wake you up when you feel like quitting. It will push you through challenges when others give up. And it will make the impossible seem attainable. It brings purpose to your actions, and through that purpose, it shapes your behavior. Your vision is a powerful force. It dictates your decisions, it molds your character, and it gives you the strength to endure. When your vision is strong, your discipline will follow. And when discipline follows, success will be inevitable. The path may be long and challenging, but every step will be worth it because your vision is guiding you forward. Focus activates purpose and potential. Many people go through life with untapped greatness lying dormant within them, not because they don't have the potential to succeed, but because they fail to direct their focus toward their purpose. You see, the potential within you is not automatically activated. It doesn't just rise to the surface by accident. It requires deliberate focus to bring it into full expression. When you focus your thoughts, your energy, and your actions on what matters most, you begin to unlock the immense potential God has placed within you. Potential is not realized by wishing for it or hoping it will happen. It is activated by focused intent. Think about a seed. A seed has the potential to grow into a tree, but that potential is locked inside it. The seed cannot grow unless it is planted in fertile soil, watered regularly, and given time and care. Similarly, your purpose and potential cannot grow unless they are placed in the fertile soil of focused attention. When you focus, you provide the care and nourishment that your potential needs to grow. Without focus, the seed remains dormant. Without focus, the tree never grows. Without focus, the fruit never ripens. Your life is like that seed, and your focus is the key to unlocking its hidden potential. Many people fail to reach their potential not because they lack abilities, but because their minds are scattered. They attempt to chase too many things at once, and in doing so, they never fully commit to anything. This is the danger of a distracted life. Distraction spreads your energy, dividing it into multiple directions and leaving you with little to show for your effort. Focus, on the other hand, concentrates your energy. It brings clarity. Clarity brings action, and action leads to results. When you focus, you begin to activate the potential that has been lying dormant, waiting for the right moment, waiting for your attention to shine a light on it. Purpose is not something you discover by casually looking around. It's something you focus on with intent and action. When your focus is on your purpose, you start to recognize opportunities that align with it. You begin to see the world through the lens of your vision. Your decisions become purposeful, and your actions take on a new level of meaning. Every step you take aligns with the path of your calling. Focus acts as the compass that guides you toward your destiny, and as you concentrate on your purpose, the forces of life begin to work together to help you achieve it. Potential is dormant until activated. It's like a car engine that can't start without the key. Focus is the key that turns on your engine. It gets you moving. You might have all the parts, your talents, your skills, your gifts, but until you focus your energy on a singular direction, your potential remains locked inside you. Focus is the act of choosing where to direct your energy, your time, your mind, and your resources. When you do that, you align your life with the greater purpose for which you were created. Your purpose is the destination, and focus is the road that takes you there. Without focus, you will find yourself stuck at a crossroads, unsure of which way to go. But when you focus, your steps become sure, your journey becomes clearer, and you begin to walk in the direction of your divine destiny. It is focus that activates your potential, bringing it to life and propelling you toward the fulfillment of your purpose. So, focus on what matters, because when you do, you activate the power that lies within you, and your life begins to transform into the masterpiece it was meant to be. A strong mind is a focused mind in motion. It's not enough to just have focus. True mental strength comes from the ability to direct that focus into consistent action. A focused mind that sits still and does nothing is a wasted opportunity. It is only when you put your focus into motion that you begin to see real results, that you begin to see your dreams materialize. Focus alone is like the ignition key in a car. It starts the engine, but it's motion that moves the vehicle forward. Without motion, focus becomes stagnant and potential is wasted. This is why a focused mind in motion is unstoppable. It's not just about what you concentrate on, but what you do with that concentration. Focus creates clarity, and clarity leads to action. The reason most people struggle with achieving their goals is not because they lack focus, but because they lack the courage to move forward with the focus they have. A focused mind knows where it's going, but it's the motion that ensures the journey continues. If you're not moving toward your goals with the clarity that comes from focus, then all your focus is doing is keeping you stationary, in the same place, year after year. Focused action creates momentum. Momentum creates progress. Progress creates results, and results lead to the fulfillment of your destiny. Think of a weightlifter in the gym. The goal is not to just lift the weights, but to move the weights with intention. Every time the weight is lifted and brought back down, it strengthens the muscles. In the same way, your mind becomes stronger with each focused action you take. The more you take focused steps toward your goals, the stronger your resolve becomes. The more you act on the clarity that focus brings, the more mental strength you develop. The act of moving in the direction of your purpose builds your mental muscle. Your mind becomes accustomed to overcoming obstacles, solving problems, and navigating challenges. But here's the challenge. Many people have focused thoughts without focused actions. They plan, they strategize, they dream, but they fail to take the first step. Without motion, there is no momentum. Focus without motion is like a vision without execution. It remains a dream. A strong mind knows that focus is not an end in itself. It is a means to an end. When you set your sights on something, when you focus your attention on a goal, it should stir you into action. Action is the proof of your focus. A focused mind is constantly in motion, constantly seeking new ways to move closer to its goal, and constantly adapting to the challenges that come along the way. A strong mind does not wait for the perfect moment. It makes the moment perfect through consistent action. You don't need to have it all figured out to take the first step. The strength of the mind is not in its ability to plan, but in its ability to execute with focus, even when the path ahead is unclear. The more you move with focus, the more your mind sharpens. And as your mind sharpens, your confidence grows. You begin to trust your ability to move forward, even when obstacles arise. The focused mind in motion is like an unstoppable force, carving its way through barriers, through doubts, and through distractions. It keeps pushing, it keeps moving, and eventually, it arrives at its destination. In conclusion, mental strength is forged through consistent, focused action. A strong mind is a mind that refuses to remain stagnant, a mind that moves purposefully towards its goals, no matter the obstacles. When your mind is focused and in motion, nothing can stop you from achieving the greatness you were designed for. In conclusion, the power of a focused mind cannot be overstated. Focus is not just a tool, it is the key that unlocks your purpose, strengthens your mental resolve, and activates the potential within you. When you cultivate focus, you begin to harness the tremendous force that drives your destiny forward. Focus is the currency of your mind, and through intentional concentration, it sharpens your will, empowers your vision, and propels you into action. It is the discipline of choosing where to direct your energy, and it is the force that activates your true potential. Distraction, the enemy of focus, seeks to divide your attention and dilute your power. But by guarding your focus, you guard your future. As you move forward, remember that a strong mind is not just one that holds tight to focus, but one that moves in alignment with its purpose. When you focus and move with clarity, you begin to build the momentum that leads to real, tangible results. The stronger your focus, the stronger your mind becomes, and the more capable you are of transforming your dreams into reality. Now, as you step into the world with a focused mind, don't just think about what you can do. Take the steps that will get you there. Let your vision guide your discipline fuel your actions, and your actions prove the power of a mind that is both focused and in motion. Your potential is limitless, but it requires focus to realize it. So, hold on to your focus because your destiny is waiting, and with a focused mind, you are destined to achieve greatness. Thank you.